Let me tell you, friends, the day an HOA I never joined tried to rule my life started with a stranger measuring my mailbox like it owed them money. I swear, if you've never seen someone judge the shape of a mailbox as if it's a crime, you haven't lived. I'm deep under my old pickup, wrestling a crusty alternator, when this lady in a linen blazer with hair set like helmet walks up my driveway, clipboard out, and doesn't even bother with hello. She just squints at my mailbox and says, "This unit is non-compliant." Now, I'm not proud of it, but grease on my hands usually makes me less polite. Non-compliant with what, gravity? I ask, halfway between confused and amused. She lifts her chin, all business, rattles off violations like she's reading from a menu. Wrong color, wrong font, wrong setback, formal notice coming my way. But here's the twist, right out the gate. I am not even in their HOA. Never signed up, never got a welcome packet, nothing. Yet this lady is looking at me like I'm the reason property values are crashing nationwide. That I try to explain, maybe she's lost. Maybe she thinks my land is part of their little subdivision with the identical porches and dog statues. But she's got this smile you practice in the mirror. Oh, everyone's part of the association. It's mandatory. That's when my shop radio squawks some talk show guy screaming about property taxes, and I feel like the universe is putting together a soundtrack for my headache. I point down the road. "Ma'am, your boundary ends at the cul-de-sac. My place is outside by 3 acres and a creek." I paid for a survey. She's unfazed, asks for my last name, and when I give her just my first, Sid, and tell her unless she's got paperwork for me, I got a truck to fix, she stands there, 30 seconds of silence like she's waiting for me to crack. Spoiler, I didn't. She scribbles something and pivots away with the posture of someone who never tripped in public. Should have been the end, right? Not even close. See, I live on a little patch of land that used to be a farm, off the county road, in Creek View HOA. Their shiny new subdivision. Grew up on the other side of the creek, years after I bought my place, miles from my mind. When I closed on this house, the best thing in that stack of paperwork was no covenants, no restrictions, my 4 favorite words after paid in full. But for the next week, little white envelopes with urgent and that oak leaf logo started showing up in my mailbox. No postage, just HOA printouts. Fines for a rusty mailbox. I call it patina. Parking my old pickup in the driveway. If that's a crime, half the state's going down. And the real kicker, painting my house an unapologetic shade of blue last spring. I ignore the letters. They're as legally binding as a grocery list. But I keep them because something about unstamped threats feels like a story waiting to happen. Then, flyer guy shows up. Kid in a logo polo, probably got volunteered at a potluck, taping a dues delinquent sign to my porch. I step out with coffee, ask if he's trying to decorate for a holiday I don't celebrate, and the poor guy just stammers, tells me to come to the association office, or call, but there's a $35 dispute fee. I take the paper, add it to my folder, tell him to Google the county GIS map, and let the HOA know Sid says hi. A couple hours later, the blazer lady comes back, now with reinforcements, a man in a tie, a kid with a yardstick, introductions all around. Griff the community manager, Talon the compliance coordinator. They're here to resolve my mounting fines. I just smile. Sometimes you beat volume with patience. I'm not a member. Your fines weigh less than snowflakes. You got no deed restrictions here. Mara, the blazer, actually laughs, claims my property is deed restricted and everyone knows it, so I ask for proof. A recorded covenant, anything at the county recorder's office. All they have is a proposed annexation packet, which is about as binding as proposing to buy the moon. Now here comes the twist. Griff tries to offer me a payment plan. I offer him a tall glass of leave me alone. And for the record, I remind them, they're trespassing. Mara gets sharp, says they'll escalate for community safety and uniformity. Yeah, apparently my blue house is a threat to suburban America. They try to get me to sign a gate access roster for a gate that doesn't exist. When I laugh, they double down, claim legal counsel is involved. That's when Mara calls 911. Calm as anything, tells dispatch I'm hostile and refusing legal directives. I just stare, disbelief rolling into something colder. So I grab my phone, start recording, walk back outside, tell the camera for the record they're trespassing. This is civil, and calling 911 for HOA drama is a waste of emergency services. When the cops roll up, I set my phone to live backup, walk out hands visible, keep my voice calm, because you never know how these things play. The sergeant takes one look at the scene, listens to both sides, and when I produce my deed, survey, and county plat map, plus their packet of threats, he calls dispatch, confirms there's nothing on my title, and tells the HOA to leave or risk trespass charges. Mara sputters, Griff sulks, and the compliance kid looks like he just realized he's joined the wrong summer cult. The sergeant asks if I want a no trespass order. I say yes, and that's the end. For about 5 minutes, here's the real pivot. Drone starts buzzing my backyard. Not the cool kind, just HOA surveillance, trying to catch my violations. I take photos, file complaints, one to the county for unapproved signs, one to the sheriff for 911 misuse, and a call to zoning about their imaginary gate. I sign the no trespass affidavit, get certified copies of my deed, and put up security cameras. The next time contractors try to install private road signs in the public right-of-way, I call the county, who sends someone to yank them out, and I watch it all like a soap opera. The HOA responds with another letter, now threatening a lien on my property, citing laws that don't apply. I write back, cite actual statutes, and warn any fake lien will end up in court with damages. Then the side plot kicks in. My neighbor Edris, retired music teacher, comes by with bread, worried because they threatened his apple tree, which his late wife planted, saying it violates sightline standards. Dina and Owen across the way got cited for a swing set for their twins. I show them the maps, the laws, help everyone write certified letters, each one polite, factual, with a note that further contact is harassment. The HOA's answer is a mix of more flyers, silence, and then another 911 call. This time, they claim I'm brandishing tools. New officers show up, but I'm ready, everything recorded, and for the first time, I realize I need to keep a ledger. Every incident, every letter, every drone pass, dates, times, names. The ledger becomes my shield. Then the real twist, an exhausted young woman, Jory, sent by the HOA to tape a notice to my garage at night, confesses she just cleans the clubhouse on weekends and they promise to waive her late fees. I tell her she doesn't have to trespass for them. She leaves relieved. The next letter comes from an actual law firm, arguing I'm constructively a member because I enjoy the benefits of being near their subdivision, roads, maintenance, you name it. I send everything to my attorney, who laughs. You're not bound, and they know it. He drafts a demand for them to stop, and for the first time, the HOA pauses enforcement on disputed parcels. Then, County Investigator Gallo shows up. We gather neighbors, pour coffee, hand over documents, call logs, screenshots. Gallo's thorough. By Monday, my attorney files for a temporary restraining order against the association and board. The judge moves fast. At the hearing, it's clear, no recorded covenants, lots of harassment, 2 bogus 911 calls, drone flights, illegal signs. Judge grants a 1-year harassment order. No more contact, no surveillance, no fake liens, plus a written retraction of all threats. Quiet falls over the block. Mara gets fined for abusing 911. Jory finds a better job. Neighbors start helping each other with projects in defiance of the old rules. The drone kid learns privacy laws, and a new board gets voted in with a letter that says, simply, we do not govern you. HOA settles, apologizes, and refunds fees. The binder of every document now sits on my shelf, a silent reminder. Sometimes the only way to win is to keep every receipt and have the facts. Now, peace looks good here, and if another clipboard ever shows up, I've got a pen, a camera, and neighbors who know where the lines are drawn. So tell me, what do you think, folks? Is this how communities should work? Where's the line between keeping order and pushing control? Have you ever had to fight for your corner of the world? Drop your stories below. I want to know who's really right and who's just loud. And hey, if you've ever tangled with an HOA, or dodged a clipboard in the wild? Go ahead, let's hear about it. Like, comment, and tell me, what does justice look like where you live, too?